Okay, so we are looking at multiplying a binomial times a trinomial, or multiplying two trinomials together. So following the same steps as when we're multiplying two binomials, there isn't going to be a word that can help us like FOIL, an acronym, but it's the distributive property. So basically, if you look at the first example, you are going to multiply every term in the second bracket by the first term in the first bracket. So 3 arrows there, and then 3 arrows here. So really 2 terms in the first, 3 terms in the second will give you 6 terms before you collect like ones. So let's do this. 2x times x squared is 2x cubed. Okay, 2x times negative 4x is negative 8x squared, so minus 8x squared. 2x times negative 5 is negative 10x, so minus 10x. And then take the sign in front of the 3, the second term. Negative 3 times x squared is negative 3x squared. So subtract 3x squared. Negative 3 times negative 4x is positive 12x, so plus 12x. And negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15. Okay, and then, so there's 6 terms. Like terms, no x, so just one term with x cubed, there's 2 terms with x squared, and 2 terms with x, and then a constant term. Okay, so collecting like terms will be 2x cubed. Oops, I'm just going to fix that up a little bit. 2x cubed. Then negative 8x squared minus 3x squared is negative 11x squared, so subtract 11x squared. Negative 10x plus 12x is positive 2x, so plus 2x, and then plus 15. So started out with 6 terms, ended up with 4. It really depends on what's in those brackets. Okay, and turned out they were in descending order of degree, sort of within each group, and then I showed it in descending order of degree. Okay, next one we have x's and y's in here, so 3x, so I'm going to show my 3 arrows there first. So 3x squared times x is 3x cubed. 3x squared times negative y is negative 3x squared y. And 3x squared times positive 1 is 3x squared, so plus 3x squared. And then the second term times everything. So negative 4y times x. Now I'm going to put it in alphabetical order within that term. So I'm going to put it negative 4, subtract 4xy. And then negative times a negative is a positive, so plus 4y squared. And then negative 4y times positive 1 is negative 4y, so subtract 4y. So now, in terms of like terms, we actually don't have any. So take a look, degree 3, degree 3, degree 2, degree 2, degree 2, and degree 1. So we're done. Okay. Notice how in this one it's 3 terms times 2. You could rearrange it, or just take each term in the first bracket, multiply it by the second, so that would be 2p cubed minus 8p squared. Now next term would be negative p times p is negative p squared, so subtract p squared. Negative p times negative 4 is positive 4p, so plus 4p. And then got to take the 5. So now 5 times p and 5 times negative 4. So plus 5p minus 20. And then like terms here, they're actually next to each other. So there and there. Okay. And so we'll get 2p cubed minus 9p squared plus 9p minus 20. Okay, and then the next one is a trinomial times a trinomial. So that's a lot of multiplying. 3 terms by 3 terms, that's going to be 9 terms when we expand out, and then we'll collect like terms. So x times 2x is 2x squared. X times y is xy. X times 1 is just x. Then the next term times everything. So y times 2x, I'm going to put the x first, so that's going to be 2xy. Y times y is y squared. And y times 1 is y. And then the 3 times everything. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times y is 3y. 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, and then let's see what we have. Do we have any like terms? We've got an x squared, we've got an xy. So an xy here and an xy here. And an x term and an x term. And a y term and a y term. Okay, so their highest is degree 2, and we'll start with just all x's, so 2x squared. Then the xy, so 1 plus 2 is 3 xy. Then I've got to do the next degree 2, which is a y squared. Okay. Then I'll do alphabetical order again. X's, so that'll be 1x plus 6x is 7x. And then 1y plus 3y is 4y. And then plus 3. Okay, so we had 9 terms to start, and now we're down to 6 terms because we had 3 pairs of like terms basically. And so same in the next, it'll be 9 terms. These will have probably a few more like terms because they're all x's and they're all the same degree. Well, actually I shouldn't, okay. I started doing all the arrows. Let's do the first one. So x squared times 2x squared is 2x to the 4th. X squared times 3x is 3x cubed. X squared times 5 is 5x squared. Okay, and then my next set of brackets, 2x times 2x squared is 4x cubed. 2x times 3x is 6x squared. 2x times 5 is 10x. Okay, and then, so now my 3 times everything, I'm going to have to put it underneath because I kind of was writing big. So 3 times 2x squared is 6x squared. 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, so we've got an x cubed and an x cubed. We've got an x squared, x squared, x squared, and we've got an x term and an x term. So 2x to the 4th goes first, highest degree term. Then positive 3x cubed plus 4x cubed is 7x cubed. Then 5x squared plus 6x squared is 11x squared plus another 6x squared is 17x squared. And then 10x plus 9x is 19x. And then plus 15. So we went from 9 terms down to 5 terms now. Okay, so that'll probably be the least number of terms for a trinomial times a trinomial, when the trinomials are already simplified, no like terms in them. Okay, so then multiplying three polynomials. So start by multiplying two polynomials together, then multiply that result by the remaining. So kind of in steps. So here's an example. Here's a monomial times a binomial squared. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to do the monomial at the end, and I'm going to find the expression for 3p minus 4 squared. So if you remember back to what we learned, we can do that a fast way. 3p minus 4 all squared. You square the first term. That will be 9p squared. Then the product of the two terms is negative 12p. Doubled is negative 24p. And then negative 4 squared is plus 16. Now, if you wanted to do 5 times 3p minus 4 times 3p minus 4 and use FOIL, go for it. Okay, but still do this first, because a common mistake is people will multiply 5 into the bracket before squaring. And you remember, order of operations, you have to do that exponent first. So now I multiply through by 5, I get 45p squared minus 5 times negative 24 is negative 120p plus 50, so that's 80. 5 times 16. Okay. Same with the next one. So here you could multiply 3x into the first bracket, but not into both. What I tend to do is I tend to do all of this first. So I keep that monomial out front, and then I figure out what the two brackets basically expand to. So x times everything there, it's going to be 2x cubed plus 5x squared plus x, and then the other will be plus 6x squared plus 15x plus 3. And you can multiply through now or collect like terms and then multiply, which is usually what I do. So 2x cubed, then I've got 5x squared plus 6x squared is 11x squared, and x plus 15x is 16x plus 3. And then now I multiply through by 3x. So that'll be 6x to the 4th plus 33x cubed plus 48x squared plus 9x. Okay. So that's my recommended way of doing it. Getting rid of the brackets, at least getting it down to one big bracket, and then multiplying by the monomial. Okay, and then what do we do for cubed? Well, really what that means is 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2. Now, you can do the first two together and then multiply by 3x plus 2, or you could also show this as 3x plus 2 squared times 3x plus 2, right? Okay, and that's, you may want to do that. If you're comfortable squaring a binomial, this is the method that you would be fastest. Because 3x plus 2 squared, fast way, you square the first term. You take the product of the two terms and double it. And the last term squared. Then you take that and multiply by the remaining binomial. Okay, so then that's going to be 27x cubed plus 18x squared plus 36x squared plus 24x, plus 12x plus 8. And so when we collect like terms, that's a plus there. 18 plus 36, that's 44, that's 54x squared. And 12 plus 24 is 36x plus 8. Okay, and then the last one, shaded region. It says for each, but there's only one here. So we want to basically get the area of the entire rectangle, okay, which will be length times width. And then we're going to subtract the area of the inside triangle. So first, expand this out using FOIL. First together, outside together, inside together, last together. Okay, and then the area of the inside is 2x times x plus 1, which is 2x squared plus 2x. And then we have to subtract them. So area of shaded, sorry about my writing, I'm doing this with my mouse. So outside and then remember you're subtracting the inside, so brackets around it. Then when you get rid of the brackets, so you could have had brackets around this, the entire. You're going to be minus 2x squared minus 2x. So then when you collect like terms, you'll have 33x squared. 4x minus 2x is plus 2x minus 15. Okay, so just don't forget to change the signs. And that's it.